One of the major headaches, of course, was travel, and a lot of people were unfortunately trying to do it on Sunday along Interstate 30, and it became a parking lot. Traffic accidents backed up traffic for miles. Our Pamela Smith is standing by live from the scene of that major pileup yesterday, and she's there with the latest for us tonight. Pam.
Hi, Scott. I'm here at the overpass along I-30 westbound, and as you can see behind me, it actually looks pretty good. You were mentioning those traffic backup yesterday, but traffic seems to be moving a lot better this evening compared to last, although, as Ned mentioned, there is concern that when the temperatures drop tonight, the roads, well, they're going to refreeze, and then there will be a different set of drivers out here battling old man winter. Earlier this afternoon, this was the scene all along I-30 between Little Rock and Benton as traffic slowed to a crawl, and then when it did manage to pick up a little bit, there were some of the end results, as you see here, with the bus that slid off the side of the road. The National Guard was called out, as we mentioned last night, and has been patrolling the area in Humvees helping stranded motorists.
It was pretty late last night. I think about 10:30 when the first shift come on, and I think it took us a couple of 3 hours before we stood up operations, and the main mission that we had was just here on I-30.
So what kind of things were you guys doing?
The main things we had was, it seemed like the biggest problem was people that was trapped in traffic, and they were left overnight in their vehicles just idling. So the biggest thing we did is just provide assistance in the way of food and water, and fuel is probably the biggest thing.
So the good news is that traffic is moving a lot better, but again, there is some concern about roads refreezing. So we've been hearing this advice all weekend. If motorists don't have to get out, please don't. We'll hear from other officials coming up tonight at 6. Live in Little Rock, Pamela Smith, Channel 7 News.
All right, you stay safe out there. Thank you so much, Pam. And sadly, the treacherous road conditions have led to the deaths of 2 people in South Arkansas. A crash on 167 in Calhoun County Sunday afternoon claimed the life of 42-year-old Kelly Murphy of Junction City. State police say she lost control of her car, struck another vehicle, then hit a tree, and the car burst into flames. And in Clark County, 24-year-old Carrie Zetta Cummings of Arkadelphia was killed in a car crash on Sunday. State police say a 19-month baby in that car was also injured. Well, here in Pulaski County, we've not had quite as many problems as we've seen in other parts of the state, but we've not been completely spared from the wrath of the winter storm.
There is no question about that. Channel 7's Roger Suzanne is live along I-630 tonight with more on the road conditions here in Little Rock. Roger.
Hi, Scott. And the conditions here on 630 are that traffic is moving along pretty smoothly. You can see there are far fewer cars on the highway than on a normal day. And that is certainly a very, very good thing because, as you mentioned, we have run into some drivers who have had some serious problems today. Take a look at some video that we shot just a little bit earlier. You can see one driver smashed into a few signs on 440 near the airport. And this morning, we found a few cars that had been abandoned on I-67. Or 167 South near McCain Boulevard. And drivers on 9th Street here in Little Rock, they had to slow down to get onto Highway 30. Now, we've talked to people with the Highway Department, and they tell us that although things are relatively good on the main roadways, you still have to keep it slow, particularly on the back. And also, with temperatures expected to drop tonight, obviously refreezing could be a real problem. So if you can stay indoors tonight, obviously that would be the best bet. Reporting live in Little Rock, Roger Suzanne, Channel 7 News.
All right, thank you, Roger. And from the roadways to the airways, folks over at Little Rock National Airport, employees, they're not able to take the day off today for a snow day because folks had planes to catch. They wanted to get out of town, and our cameras caught snowplows clearing off the runways this morning. But despite the storm, most flights did go ahead without any problems. Now, there were only a few delays and cancellations reported, and many of those were because of weather problems in Atlanta as well as some other cities that were having winter weather as well. We spoke with one man at Little Rock National Airport whose flight back to his home in Spain was pushed back, and he says, in this kind of situation, you're forced to be patient.
We're on our way back, but we're just going to stay a while longer. That's okay with us. We were well treated, and we really appreciate it. Yeah, I was there.
Good attitude that he has, and most travelers we chatted with told us they ran into more problems on the roadway than they did at the airport.
Well, you talked about those snow totals. Ned did a little bit earlier, and they were most impressive in the area south of Little Rock. We knew that coming in, or that's what Ned had told us. So we sent Stephanie Simone south. She's in the Arkadelphia area, has been there since early yesterday, and she joins us now with the latest on what's going on in South Arkansas tonight. Stephanie?
Hi, it's hard to believe this traffic on I-30. It's running normally so far as I can tell, but earlier today it was a complete parking lot. We spoke to some drivers. Listen to what they had to say.
From the 18-wheelers to four-legged Lily, the snow made it difficult for everyone to move. Carl Danley was stuck more than 10 hours in his car.
This kept me going and on the road.
He's trying to get down to Texarkana to be with his grandson.
He called me and said, Papa, you gonna come and get me? Papa, you come and get me? I said, yeah. I said, yes, I'm on my way. As soon as I get there, I'll get you.
Let me give you a layout of what's going on here. Traffic is backed up for miles. These big tractor trailers cannot get up this icy hill. But the amazing thing is that people are still trying to get on the highway. Folks are on the on-ramp waiting, but folks are also on the on-ramp trying to get off it.
Try to get folks off the road, not be stuck out here on the highway, and safety, and to keep the traffic moving.
But for Lily and her owner, Carol Lord, they'll stay comfortable at a local hotel before braving these roads.
Great accommodations at the Quality Inn. You can see we got my boots covered with their laundry bags, and I have a jacket for my dog with the laundry bag, so everything worked.
And she was just one of dozens of people that we spoke to today that were just keeping an optimistic attitude. But I got down low here just to show you what people are kind of dealing with. Now, this is complete ice, and I expect a lot of the slushy stuff to turn into this later this evening as the temperatures start to drop. So once again, I know we've said this many times, but if you can avoid going on these roads, I strongly suggest you do it. Of course, we'll have another report coming up tonight at 6. We're live in Clark County. Stephanie Simone, Channel 7 News.
Always good to hear that advice, no matter how many times we have to say it. Stephanie,
Right.
Thank you very much. And of course, Arkansas, not the only state dealing with all this snow.
Certainly not. The winter storm has brought much of the South to a standstill. In Huntsville, Alabama, take a look at the pictures there. Roads were slick and covered with snow. That caused some drivers to abandon their vehicles on the side of the road. You see right there. Even tractor trailers were stuck. Officials say roadways remain treacherous and they're discouraging travel. Alabama, Georgia, and Louisiana have all declared states of emergency.
And one of the world's busiest airports canceled thousands of flights as heavy snow moved into the Atlanta area. Roadsides littered with stranded vehicles this morning after several inches of snow and sleet coated the region. Schools and colleges have called off classes all across that area.
And in South Carolina, forecasters say much of that area could see anywhere from 6 to 10 inches of snow. Early morning drivers in Anderson, South Carolina had to plow through several inches of snow, more falling throughout the day.
Well, of course, it's not all bad news when it comes to a snow day. I know lots of kids across the state enjoying not having to go to school.
It's
today.
what they wait for. The snow days, go out, have some snowball fights, have a lot of fun. We caught up with some folks who were just enjoying every single second of the white stuff while it's here. And we want to thank all of our viewers who sent in pictures of the snow. So far, we've received more than 1,000 images showing just how much fun you guys have been having out there today. And you can check out more pictures on our website. Just visit KATV.com.
Frigid temperatures transform some Arkansas roads into skating rinks. Good evening, and thanks for watching tonight. I'm Scott Inman. Christina has the evening off. If you're watching this broadcast, you most likely have been dealing with snow and ice throughout the day and even into yesterday. And while the precipitation is great for sledding and a snow day, it is a nightmare to drive in. And now that the temperature has dropped, soft snow has turned into hard ice. Channel 7's Roger Suzannin is live tonight off I-30 with more.
Hello,
Roger.
Scott. The snow is falling faintly again here in Little Rock. And Interstate 30 behind me is about as quiet as you would hope it would be on a night like this. But we spoke with some drivers tonight who told us they simply had to be out on the roads. And they say conditions are bad and they could get even worse. People who call weather like this a winter wonderland probably did so before they had to drive in it.
It's kind of a pain in the neck because you never know who's going to be driving behind you.
It wasn't much fun out on the roads. We saw a lot of wrecks and heard about so many close calls.
You know, that black ice is out there, so you better be safe on that road because it's real slick out there.
Conditions were bad during the day, but drivers we spoke with feared things would get even worse after the sun set and temperatures fell.
I'm just afraid that once the ice is over, it's going to be so thick and so slippery until, it's going to be hard to get off steep hills and inclines.
It's been kind of messy. Most of it's slush, and it's not really icy yet, but I'm hearing later tonight it's probably going to turn into a little bit of ice.
It's going to get worse because it's that black ice now. You can't see it. You actually think it's the road, but it's really the ice.
They all told us they really did not want to be out here and blamed emergency errands like buying gas and bread for why they are. But every one of them told us they were headed straight home and pledged to stay there a while.
I'm here for the rest of the night. I got to bundle up. I got my jacket on and stuff, so it's out here. It's cold out here.
That's it for you?
That's it. Home? I'm in for the night. It's going to be too messy.
Well, let's all just hope they were telling the truth, right? The temperatures are not expected to warm up substantially until tomorrow afternoon, so your best bet would probably be to remain inside until then, or at least stay off the road. Sledding, of course, would be okay. Reporting live in Little Rock, Roger Suzanne, Channel 7 News.
Thank you, Roger. According to the Highway Department, the state highways are in pretty good condition. Officials say crews have been working around the clock to keep the roads clear. They were able to keep trucks out throughout the day, but now they are dealing with the refreezing.
If you don't have to get out, don't. And if you do have to get out, wait until mid-morning. Give it a chance for us to get out, put some abrasives on the road, clear the roads a little bit. Maybe by mid-morning it'll be a whole lot safer.
It says with little sun and sub-freezing temperatures, crews may have to keep treating the roads for several days. And we should not expect any major melting in the coming days either. Meteorologist Ned Permy joins us early with a look at some frigid temperatures in the forecast. Ned?
That's one of the big things we're going to have to deal with. Much colder air is poised to move into Arkansas tomorrow and especially into tomorrow night. But if we can get some sunshine in tomorrow, that's going to help to melt a lot of the activity on the roadway and also bring in some drier air. So that's something we're really hoping for. Not a good night for traveling. We've got the refreezing problem that we talked about, but going to our 5 live Doppler radars, we've also got a little bit of light precipitation continuing in the form of some freezing rain, light snow, and freezing drizzle. Actually, the freezing drizzle is moving through the central Arkansas area along with light snow or flurries mixed in, heaviest moving east of the Little Rock area into Lonoke County and Prairie County, all the way up into eastern White County and Woodruff County. Very much on the light side, and also right along the Arkansas-Missouri border, we are picking up a little bit of light precipitation that moves through. So for that reason, and on top of the fact that we still have very dangerous roadways out there, the winter weather advisory has been expanded over much of the state till about 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning. Light snow, freezing drizzle, exacerbating the problem that we've already got going on, and that's going to continue through the nighttime. Cloudy, light snow, a little bit of light freezing drizzle or some flurries overnight tonight. Not a lot of additional accumulation. And then tomorrow, mostly cloudy, but let's hope for a little afternoon clearing and a high 34. That's going to go a long way to make this problem go away. We'll have more coming up.
All right. Thank you, Ned. Backing up to last night for just a second. It was a and potentially dangerous night for hundreds of travelers on Interstate 30 in Saline County overnight and into the morning. After hours at a standstill, traffic was moving at a crawl early today because of several accidents. This charter bus making a run from Chicago to Dallas slid off the road. No passengers were on board. The National Guard was called out last night to help drivers who were stranded. Jackknife tractor trailers causing a portion of the interstate to be shut down.
The main things we had was, it seemed like the biggest problem was people that was trapped in traffic, and they were left overnight in their vehicles just idling. So the thing we did is just provide assistance in the way of food and water and fuel.
It was a mess. Unofficial reports estimate there were at least 24 accidents by 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Some travelers were stuck in traffic for more than 10 hours. Just south of there in Clark County, traffic still snarled on Interstate 30. Close to 10 inches of snow fell there, one of the biggest totals in the state. Channel 7's Stephanie Simone has more from Arkadelphia.
here in Caddo Valley, where Interstate 30 is actually starting to look like normal. Earlier today, it was like a parking lot. Folks we spoke to said they spent more than 10 hours just sitting in traffic. And every gas station you go to, everyone's got a story about the storm of 2011.
There was accidents everywhere. There's mass confusion. People, I guess, they're not accustomed to driving on this type of weather here.
We spent a lot of time sitting in this car. I was just telling my friend here that it felt like we were in a capsule on our way to Mars.
I'm actually fixing to try to make it over to Malvern to a buddy's house. We work in Little Rock, so just make it over there and ride with him in the morning.
Even though the roads appear to be fine, they are very wet. So as the temperature starts to drop, they may turn into ice. So if drivers plan on heading out tonight or early in the morning, just take it slow. We're in Clark County tonight. Stephanie Simone, Channel 7 News.
And air travel at Little Rock National Airport also hampered by this winter storm. Crews spending the morning clearing the runways, and airport officials tell us both runways are open tonight. There were a few delays and cancellations. Most of those flights were headed to either Chicago or Atlanta. We caught up with one couple trying to get back home to Madrid, Spain. Well, they're staying in Arkansas for a couple more days until the snow melts.
We're on our way back, but we're just going to stay a while longer. That's okay with us. We were well treated, and we really...
For the latest on flights, we've linked the airport's website to ours at KATV.com. If you didn't get behind the wheel today, I hope you enjoyed your snow day. And we know many of you did, because we've received thousands of pictures of children sledding, having snowball fights, and of course all this building snowmen, and we even got a snow dog there and a snow football helmet. We always have room for more pics, though. Just email your photos to photo@katv.com.